Today, I'm going to explain why single-sided liquidity providing is one of the most important skills to learn in able to enter or exit a big position. But first, let's understand the problem. Two examples. Number one, let's say you have 10 ETH and you want to buy TitanX. And then example number two, you have 900 million TitanX and you want to buy ETH. So the goal is to sell or buy TitanX without slippage. What is the problem? When you market buy or market sell, it will lead to a slippage. And the solution is single-sided liquidity providing. Before we jump into the solution, we need to understand some few things. In financial market, whether traditional or in crypto, there is a convention how to show a trading pair. A pair in trading refers to two related items showing the exchange rate relationship. The first item in the pair is referred as base currency and the second item in the pair is referred as the quote currency. So whenever you see a price shown, always how many quote currencies is needed to buy the base currency. So in this example, $2,000 is needed as the quote currency to buy one base currency of Ethereum. Similarly, when you see the TitanX ETH pair, it means you're looking at the exchange rate of TitanX in terms or priced in ETH. So how many ETH is needed to buy one TitanX. And if you flip the pair ETH to TitanX, it means how many TitanX is needed to buy one ETH. This is important to know for later when we liquidity provide. To understand liquidity, a quick example. Let's say you have 10 ETH and the current price is 2,357.32. You want to sell it at a higher price and you want to sell it at 2,360. In traditional market, that's what's called a limit order. Let's say there's a second person who wants to sell 5 ETH at 2,364. And let's say there's another person who has $2,000 and wants to buy ETH. So now if somebody comes with dollars and wants ETH and does a market buy, current price will move to 2,360 and that increase of price is what's called slippage. And on the other end, if somebody comes and has ETH and wants to market sell it, price will go down because he wants dollars. And when we flip this around, this looks a bit like a liquidity curve. Finally, let's jump to Uniswap and see how we can single-side liquidity provide. We're first going to visit app.titanx.win, scroll down and copy the token address. Then we're going to visit app.uniswap.org, select token, paste in the token address. Select TitanX and I understand. Let me demonstrate slippage. Let's say you have 10 ETH. So if you market buy right now, you're going to push down the price by around 4%. Because there's not enough liquidity. Enough of the slippage example, let's jump to the pool. First, I'm going to connect my wallet. Choose MetaMask. I'm going to select new position. Then I'm going to select the token, TitanX. I don't find it, so I'm going to paste in the address again. Let me explain what you see here. So the first thing, the pool which is selected automatically is the 1% fee tier pool. Let's jump at the bottom. You can see the liquidity graph. And in the middle, the black line, that is the current price. As I mentioned earlier, the quote price is currently TitanX. So the price you seeing at the bottom is TitanX per ETH, which is at times hard to reason. Here, this is the price getting lower in terms of ETH, more TitanX to get one ETH. So that's why in terms of ETH, this is the price getting lower and this is the price getting higher. It would be much easier to reason if we can flip it so that ETH becomes the quote price. Since the numbers are very small, Uniswap is not able to display them very well. I can show you. And now you see there is some bug here with Uniswap. We'll have to use TitanX as the quote price and try to provide liquidity single-sided. So only one side. I will have to provide TitanX when I'm on this side. And this is why it's called single-sided liquidity provide, because you're only providing one side. This acts as a limit order, although it is actually a range order. Let's go through the example. You have ETH and you want to buy TitanX. So the black line is the current price and we're going to have to move as near as possible to the black line. So we're going to manipulate it with these two buttons here. So if we go, and whenever we go under that price, you're going to see that suddenly TitanX also pops up. So now I have to move the price. And as you can see, this is an invalid range. You cannot have the price at the same target. So it has to be a range. So this is the current range we can choose, which is the nearest to the current price. So for illustration purposes, we're gonna do like around $54. So we're gonna preview it. And as you can see, the current price is 178 million and my min price is above that. So let's add that. MetaMask will pop up and we're gonna have to pay the gas fees. And the current gas fees for that position is currently $35, which for my position makes absolutely no sense. But for the sake of this video recording, this is what we're gonna do. And the liquidity has been added. You can close this. Let's have a look at the transaction. So as you can see, the transaction was adding that much ETH to the TitanX liquidity, and the Uniswap V3 sends me a receipt in form of an NFT. The Uniswap V3 NFT is like a receipt or a digital certificate proving you own a specific share in that particular liquidity pool, and that letting you trade and earn fees within your chosen price range. Let's add that NFT to MetaMask. We're first going to just click here. We're going to copy the contract address and then we will need the token ID. Click NFT, scroll down, import NFT, paste in the contract address, and then the token ID is 616604 and we're going to import. And as you can see, this is the Uniswap V3 position. But if we go back to the pools and click on our position, and there you go, you can see this is the NFT, which has the ID and then some more information. So let's have a look what you see here. First, you're seeing my liquidity, which is around $54. And you can see it's only single-sided, so it's 0.025. Currently, there is no fees because the price is still under. And here you can see the price range where I'm providing liquidity. The min price and the max price, you also see the current price. The goal is once I have the TitanX, I will have to remove liquidity. So now we're just gonna have to wait until the price is crossed and then I have to quickly remove liquidity. One little fun fact, you can actually transfer this NFT to another address and that address has full access to the liquidity. Few hours later, I come back and I can see that my range order has been filled. As you can see, I have 0 ETH now and 100% TitanX. I will have to remove liquidity so that I don't become liquidity provider for TitanX now. When the price changes, my TitanX will be taken and then I'll have ETH again. And obviously I'll be earning fees with that. But for now, the goal was to just get rid of the ETH and buy TitanX in that price range. So we're gonna go ahead and remove liquidity and we're gonna say max. You can also just remove less percentages, but we wanna go max. So TitanX fees earned. So you can see I've earned some TitanX fees and then we're just going to remove. I click remove. That's going to be $27. Obviously, this is very expensive, but it's just for this video. Close. It's still pending and I have successfully removed liquidity. Let's look at the transaction. First thing, let's look at the transaction action. The first one you see, I removed 0 ETH because I had 0 ETH in there and 4.59 million TitanX. I'm collecting ETH. Why? Because this is part of the fee, which I also get because I'm a liquidity provider. I also get part of the fee in TitanX as well. So you can see here is 4.5. The fees of TitanX are added in here as well. And you can see here, this is the ETH fees, which I got to this address. Here, this is the TitanX I got. Let's add TitanX to MetaMask so that we can see it. Import token, custom tokens. We're going to paste in the token address. Next, import. And there you go. I had 0 TitanX earlier and now I have around 4.68 million TitanX. You like the video so far? Spank that algorithm. Like, share, comment, subscribe with the bell button. Now we're going to create a new position and that is selling TitanX for ETH. We're going to click new position. We're going to select the token, which is TitanX. And if it's not to be found, you have to import it at app.titanx.win. You just copy the token address and then paste it in here. I'm going to select TitanX. The black line is the current price. Since you have TitanX now, you want to sell that so that you can get ETH. It has to be below the price. So we need to place it as near to the current price as possible. So first I place it as near as possible to the current price and then I I start moving them. So as you can see, this is over the price already, and then I'll have to provide ETH. But we want to do only single-sided, so I'm gonna move it, and that's the nearest we can get. And then I'm gonna move this as well to become as near as possible. And here, this is an invalid range. We have to select at least one tick away, and that's what we're gonna do. This is the selection we've made, and then I'm just gonna do the whole lot, and then I'm gonna approve it. MetaMask will pop up. I'll first have to accept the spending cap. Go next, approve, and it has been approved. Now we're gonna click preview, and then we're gonna add that. And as you can see, for the gas fees is $43. Economically makes absolutely no sense, but it's just for this video so that you can see how this works. And the transaction has been submitted and the liquidity has been added. We see this is the second position, and if we click on it, the NFT, which is like the receipt or the digital certificate proving that I own a share in that particular liquidity pool. And with this NFT, I can later then remove my liquidity or also increase my liquidity. And I could also transfer this NFT to somebody else, and he will be able to remove liquidity, increase liquidity. Whoever owns this NFT, so either it's you or you transferred it to somebody else, they have the power to increase the liquidity, remove liquidity, and you could also claim your fees. So as usual, we're currently out of range. So when the price between this range, I will have 0% TitanX and 100% ETH. That's exactly what we want. And then we have to remove liquidity. Few minutes later, as you can see, the price came in range to my liquidity, and you can see right now 7% of the TitanX has been taken, and I have a bit of ETH. I could remove liquidity right now, but this is not what I want. I want 100% ETH, and then I can remove liquidity. Meanwhile, I could also collect the fees. This is completely independent of removing liquidity. So while you're providing liquidity, you can always come and claim your fees here. And as you can see, both the fees are in TitanX or in ETH. And now I have 100% ETH. So now I have to remove the liquidity quickly, because otherwise, if the price goes the other direction, I will be still providing liquidity and I will start getting TitanX. And this is not what I want. I'm going to click remove liquidity 100%, then remove liquidity. As you can see, it's $28. So economically, that did not make sense whatsoever. But still, for you guys to learn, I think it's worth it. Still pending, and I have successfully removed liquidity. So we're gonna go back now, and you can see that now both position has been closed. So the first position was me. I had ETH and I wanted TitanX, and the second position I had TitanX and I wanted ETH. So there you have it, folks. Conclusion. Unlike Uniswap V2, with Uniswap V3, you're allowed to place liquidity which is allocated within a custom price range. Sure, you can buy and sell a token without slippage, but there's a price to pay. Number one, time. You have to wait. And also, your range price might not be filled. And unlike market buy or market sell, you have to pay extra gas fees for entering the liquidity position and exiting the liquidity position. And the price you also pay is like you need to learn the scale of liquidity providing. So if your goal is to exit or enter as quickly as possible, you have to place your range order as near to the current price as possible.